Hello, everyone, and welcome to episode 13, season 3 of Euphoria. We are, I was going to say live. We are not live, but we are in Rotterdam, and we're in a very nice old building. Now, I've been informed that it is a old, meeting hall of a shipyard. There's a lot of really cool stained glass. There's a really cool bathroom. Me and Frost were both. It was crazy, guys.
The bathroom is lit. You walk in. Do you have stairs in your bathroom? Because this has a full flight of stairs.
It's some wild stuff. Now, Rotterdam, of course, one of the largest. I think it is the largest port in Europe. Absolutely beautiful city. If you've never been, highly, highly recommend it. Like most of Northern Europe, it's expensive, but
beautiful.
But beautiful, and that's the trade-off. All right, guys. So we're gonna be honest. Froskurinn has put the title of the episode up behind us. So this is crazy, but our guest canceled, so call us maybe. That's the truth. We had a plan. I don't really remember what the original plan was, but here's the story behind it. It fell through, very last minute.
So you just got to imagine a boardroom where we're all sitting and we're like, okay, so
what do we do?
What's the game plan here?
Who do we call?
Who do we get?
Who do we get? Who can come to Rotterdam with 2 days notice? And the answer is not a lot of people. People have lives, they do other things. So what are we going to do? We're going to bring Rotterdam to them via the power of the internet. We're calling literally everyone we can find
we pulled
in
up
Europe.
The DMs, the Skype contacts.
Because we're like, you've heard on broadcast how we feel about the matchups that are coming up. You know probably what Froskurinn's going to predict. You might hear it again today. And I was like, but you know who you haven't heard from in a while? Yellow Star. So we're going to call Yellow Star. You know who's chilling in Korea right now? It's Wadid. Let's see what Wadid has to say. And there's a bigger list. We've got a bunch of people we know are available. We've got a lot of people who we're not sure about, but we have their phone numbers.
And we're going to give them a call anyway and see what happens.
Yeah, it's going to be a weird episode. This is definitely an experiment for us. But thank you guys for waiting for this episode. Obviously, it's coming out Friday morning. And it's exciting. Frosk, we're going to keep track over the course of the day. Is this what this board is for?
Yeah, I had to move G2 to one side so they got more space because I was maybe hedging my bets on where a lot of people were going to predict. We're going to keep track of tallies. We're going to ask some fun questions. We're going to call up some esports royalty, and
we're gonna follow. This is going to be a follow our hearts episode. So this is definitely an episode where you can be like, guys, I hated this, and then we'll know not to follow our hearts in the future. But this is definitely we're like stallions free roaming across the plain of esports content. That's what this episode is going to be in a nutshell.
Galloping across. I'm just super excited that they gave me a whole jug of water. This was full before the episode started.
Yeah, we're not even 5 minutes in, and Froskurinn has already drank through an entire jug of water. Additionally, we did some stuff with Foot Locker earlier today, and they gave us some sweet swag that we're wearing on the episode.
By the way, we don't normally wear
super streetwear out. I'm wearing the most favorite wave jacket of all time. I also in the first 30 minutes of owning a brand new t-shirt have spilt ramen on it.
He literally had one job before going to film this, and he was just like, I'll take the spiciest ramen that has the most potential to mess up my outfit.
Yeah, and I did, and that's great. All right. Okay, guys, we're here with our next guest. How about you introduce yourself to the stream, the call, the podcast?
And there you go. This is Carlos R., more known as Ocelot, and founder and CEO of G2 Esports and former professional legendary, all that stuff.
Yeah. Hell yeah. Well, welcome. So heads up, we want to get some predictions from you. But I have a sneaking suspicion that people might already know the answer. But how about, just for the sake of getting through it, how about you tell us who you think is going to win the entire split?
So it has to be G2, man. It has to be G2.
There you go. Frost looks really disappointed that I even took the time to ask the question.
Shocker.
I'm going to say 3-1 just to make it the casual G2.
Yeah, the casual finish. Give him one game, right? That's I like that attitude.
Before we giving a game.
Is the usual G2 finals? I think we won 3-1 3 occasions, right?
Yeah, you guys are definitely a 3-1 team for sure. Or you guys 3-0'd a couple times though, but for a while there it was definitely 3-1.
Yeah, but
typically it's because we have perks on the team. So one game he decides to
run it down in the sideline.
Completely, yeah, exactly. And then the other three.
I like you just flamed your franchise player.
Yeah, so that's why he's got that man on lock. That's a 3-year contract.
Man, if Ocelot was still in the mid lane, this wouldn't happen.
Yeah, I was saying Reginald situation. Let's calm down.
Yep.
So
3 games he's like, I'm in. And 1 game he's got aimed.
But who's gonna face you there? Because this is the real question.
Well, I think it's gonna be Fnatic. Actually, I thought it was gonna be Origin, but I think now it's gonna be Fnatic. And actually, I do prefer to a degree Fnatic, just because I don't ever want to hear G2 won without beating both Origin and Fnatic. I don't ever want to hear it once. So it's going to be a good thing. Also, on the other hand, Fnatic is the largest organization together with G2 in Europe, and one of the largest in the world, just again together with G2. And it is very good to have this rivalry in the stadium, hear all the Fnatic fans roar while they lose 1-3. That'd be very good.
I like that. I like that. And I also do think that there's a special, like, I think all the Fnatic fans and all the G2 fans are kind of hoping for that final in their own way, just because of the whole Caps situation. I feel like I feel like G2 fans are like, oh, we took him, we can do better. And I feel like the Fnatic, we met some Fnatic fans earlier today who were still very salty about Caps joining G2 esports.
Yeah, I mean, of course they are. I'll be too. When you ask Caps, who do you want to face? He will directly tell you Fnatic, and he will ask why. And it's mostly just because it's just personal for him, you know? There's an emotional attachment to the game.
We heard it on mic check, man. That there's one or two of those solo kills were very, very personal.
There you go. He shouldn't have ever gone for that, but he did. I love that. I really like that. You know, this is a game, and when all of us are watching the games, whether or not we're fans of one or the other team, we just want to watch a game to be entertained, And these guys take it the same way. When they play these games, as important as these games are, they do still want to entertain themselves. And when they're not entertaining themselves, then is when hell will rain upon in a bad way. I think that you got the best version of G2 when all the players are just making jokes and still serious, because it's a serious game, right? It's an official, important game. But, if they want to pick Corki because of the Corgi skin, then they do so. And I like that.
All right, Carlos, we got to move on to the next guest, but thank you so much for your time. I like it. I think we're going to go for #1 region in the world. And NA doesn't hold a candle.
Edit it. Europe is the #1 region in the world. Nobody gets anywhere close.
Bam, that's our promo shot right there. That's how we get all the views. Okay. Thanks, Carlos. We'll talk to you later.
Goodbye, guys. Good luck. Cheers.
Later.
Hi.
Hello, XPK.
Wait, let me try the webcam, but I don't know how much.
I mean, the webcam is really
it's really important.
Really important.
Your analysis is good, but also you're an attractive man, and I think that we get an extra 20,000 viewers every time we put your face on anything. So,
have you just thought about selling your face on a shirt? I don't know why the Origin logo decided to go with the star.
Could have just been your face.
It could have just been your face.
In the middle of the star, instead of the star.
How are you?
Okay.
How's life?
Are we hanging out a window right now?
What? Yeah, I'm next to a window just to have more lights, because if not, I think it's too dark. Or is it fine?
Yeah, I mean, it's up to you, dude. Just be comfortable. It's definitely all good either way.
Are you in Spain?
Oh. No, I'm in Denmark, Copenhagen right now.
Nice.
I'm going to Rotterdam tomorrow.
Cool. Nice. Deficio and you have been posting a ton about your Origin activations. Now, I don't want to spend all of our time talking about Origin activations, but do you want to give us a highlight, a quick what's Origin up to in Rotterdam, other than obviously playing League of Legends?
Yeah, besides League of Legends, we are going to have our own booth there that we've been working for the last month. And we're pretty much, Deficio and I are going to be there both days from 12 to 4.
Both you and Deficio are going to be at a booth at Rotterdam between when?
Yeah.
But we need fans in the seats. You can't.
Do what?
We need fans in the seats. You can't.
It's gonna be until the game starts.
Okay, there you go. That's good. Can't take them all away from us.
Both days we're gonna be from 12 until the game starts.
Nice.
We're gonna be doing the typical fan and meet stuff, talk to the fans, but we're also gonna be having a photo booth there, which is gonna be kind of cool because fans are able to take pictures with different backgrounds, pretending to be players, pretending to be with the players, stuff like this as well. And we're also going to be having a couple of PCs from Omen to play 2v2s, give away some stuff, play against us a couple of games, whoever can, because I guess the line will be pretty long.
Yeah.
And we're going to have pretty much that.
Cool.
And a couple of funny things we're going to try to do. Cannot talk about them yet. But
that's good. Don't spoil it all. Like I said, you gave us some highlights, and that's perfect.
Yes.
So we're running through all of our guests. We want predictions. And while I think it's easy to say who you're going to predict in the OG Fnatic match, can you give us a rundown? What do you think the score is going to be? your overview of Origin versus Fnatic. How's it going to break down?
Okay, so I think I'm not able to predict all the games, but I'm gonna say whoever wins the first game, I think is gonna win the series. It's gonna be really important for us and Fnatic because both of us, Fnatic comes with a really mental strength, right? Probably they think they're gonna beat us easily, and I think for us getting that first win is gonna be really important. And if we get it, we're gonna be able to overcome our fear, which is what I think that was our problem against G2. We were a bit too scared to do anything because we were scared of failing. And I feel like getting a win on first game will allow us to just play how we want to play. So
there was a lot of
whoever
conversation.
wins the first game is going to win the series.
Do you know if it's personal at all for Mythy beating Perks? Do you know, like, obviously, like, at the end of the day, he's going to be focused on the game. But do you think, like, if there's an opportunity for Mythy to, like, go out of his way to solo kill Perks, that he'll go for it? He'll go for the cheeky personal solo kill?
I think it can be. I don't think he has any hate for it, but I think it will be cool for him to do good against G2, especially against Perks. If he can, I think he will feel super great. If he get the chance to get a kill on Perks or something, I'm sure he will go for it, even if it's bad for the team, which hopefully doesn't happen.
I mean, that's what I ultimately like to hear. All right, thank you for taking the time to talk to us, Xpec8, sharing your predictions. We'll see you tomorrow. I almost said in Copenhagen. You're in Copenhagen. We're in Rotterdam. We'll see you in Rotterdam. Excited to have you guys here. Looking forward to more details about your secret plans for the Origin booth. Until then, good luck to your boys in the match on Saturday. And we'll talk to you later.
Yeah, thank you very much. It's gonna be fun. See you there.
See you there.
Bye.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, it's time to call a very close family member of ours. Hello?
I'm here.
Oh, it's our Papa.
It is.
I like your taste. I'm sorry. Is that a Misfits jersey underneath your? Oh no, it's Griffin.
No.
It's Griffin.
No,
I just
no,
saw the red and black. I saw the red and black.
Griffin
I was very concerned. Okay, yeah, the much less EU friendly.
Wait,
but more.
here's the thing. I know you just got done streaming. Did you change into that for this call, or were you wearing that while you were streaming? And you can't lie because I'll go back and I'll check the VOD.
I changed into it for this call. Why wouldn't I? I got a rep.
Got to get that advertising in. Let people know the
He's like-
series is coming.
He's like,
When
don't
does
call me
this
just
even air?
Friday.
tomorrow.
Tomorrow. Yeah.
Okay, that's before my final.
Papa-
I'm hyping my final.
You're looking real fresh with that beard. That is a nice.
That's a great beard.
I'm working out.
It's doing good. It's fresh. We're gonna have a beard podcast soon. Okay. First off, Papa, I think a lot of people who watch this are also going to watch LCK. But for those who don't, how's life? How's everything going? How are you?
Yeah, life's good. This year was about costing a little bit less, which so far big success on that. LS coming in has relieved me of everyday LCK kind of requirements, but also getting to do some creative stuff. So even though analytical stream is like kind of like casting, it's definitely like my own timetable and like being able to make some content for myself. So that part has been really rewarding. So a different year, I got to, live a life and do some creative stuff and still do the casting I love. So I feel spoiled.
Here's the big question. If you had the option where, let's say you completely factor out like salary and like life things, would you prefer to do casting? Would you prefer to do like your analytical content or just content in general? Like which one do you actually like more?
Honestly, like this will come across maybe a bit weird, but I still find it a bit surreal that people love listening to me talk about League of Legends. And I just like thinking about the game. Like you can see me in a lot of Twitch chats for personal streams and pro games because I just really enjoy the game. So with the conduit to which that happens, like whether it's like actual broadcast, wearing a suit and being on time, or whether it's my own stream, I actually like just varying it. Like it's not that I don't like broadcast. I really enjoy professional casting, but if that's 5 to 6 days a week, then it's all you are. It's like a sum of what you are. But being able to kind of flip it and then just do some VOD review, but also cast, and then just some days just to be in Twitch chat and come up with memes that are broadcast acceptable. Like that's what I like, So I just love the League of Legends and how it comes out. As long as the paycheck was even, like, how about just a little bit of everything?
I got one more question though. What in the world is that picture behind you?
That's a good question.
The one behind me.
That's Papa. Wait, I remember that. I got them. Oh yeah, never mind. You tell the story. I got one too. Yeah, never mind. You're good. You tell the story.
You there? Yeah, you were there.
Yeah, I was.
It came from Intel Extreme Masters Gyeonggi back in 2016, I want to say.
Yeah.
That sounds right.
The pinnacle of our careers.
2016, right after All-Star.
LS's partner actually, as Christmas presents, because the tournament was around Christmas, painted us all.
That's you. I thought that was you.
It's just Papa Smurf.
It's me as Papa Smurf. So the Papa Smurfy going on. That's in the background.
Can you actually? Can I get a closer look at that?
You can get him a Twitter picture.
That's gonna require.
That's a lot of logistical movement.
It's the strangest thing. I'm not the only person that's focusing on this right now.
All right. Be right back. All right.
Like we really called up Papa Smithy just to get his analytical
a picture
opinion.
out on Twitter. Of course, we called up Papa Smithy for his analytical.
Besides,
picture.
now we get to see how fit
Papa's
Papa
good.
Smithy is. Oh my God, that is so good.
That's lovely.
So
Thank you.
good.
Weird when this was drawn, so it was more inspired that way. But yeah.
First match. Frosky standing in front of a whiteboard with everyone's predictions.
I can see like literally 1/9 of the corner
That's
of
fine.
the left side.
It's much less for you than it is for the viewers at home. Fnatic, and there's not really any relevant information on there other than such insightful quotes as Europe
Classic EUphoria.
Thanks, Papa. Fnatic versus Origin. Who do you think's gonna win? What's your take on this timeless rivalry?
Well, I did spend 6 hours reviewing a 3-0 G2 versus Origin series.
Game one, huh? Game was exciting.
Yeah, it was exciting. I actually really enjoyed the series, to be honest. I'm going to throw the YouTube VODs out. It was a good one. But what did I come away with? Because obviously we're talking about Origin first. I think Origin has a really bad stylistic matchup versus G2 because they're a prep team against a team that hadn't played seriously in who knows how long, but hadn't played on the Rift in a while. And then just being able to work out G2 and prep for them and control them, which is kind of how I feel with G2's approach. So yeah, Origin's approach. It was really hard. So I guess it wasn't super surprising they lost that series. The 3-0, I think, kind of flattered and doesn't flatter G2 because obviously game one should definitely have been an Origin victory. Yeah. They made some mistakes around execution. They come into the Fnatic series and they definitely know exactly what to prep for. I think you can herd, because pick and ban is kind of like herding, right? You can definitely push Fnatic into almost the 5 picks every time that they're going to take. But then do you win is the question that I have with Origin, because I think they can't match 1-3-1 as well as I thought they might be able to. I'm kind of always going to have this Swain into GP last pick in that G2 Origin series. That was a spot for Alphari to blow people up like I believe he could, but they went for team fight instead. They clearly didn't go for lane busting. So I think this Origin versus Fnatic is going to turn into 5v5s. And then in a 5v5, I think the advantage for Fnatic is in the AD carry role. I think the Reckless is solid gold and late game team fighting in big matches. And I think Patrick is a very promising player, but I just don't see those series not turning into 5v5s, and I think from there, Reckless will be too strong for the 5v5 phase. So I don't know how many games it's going to go. It's not going to be a 3-0, I don't think, but Origin did not come away disappointingly to me in the series I watched, and I'm very sure they know what to expect from Fnatic, but even knowing that, I'm not 100% confident that right now they're going to be in a position to beat them.
All right. Thank you so much, Papa, for taking the time to talk to us.
My pleasure.
We'll see you soon for young MSI.
Korean Hearts.
Korean Hearts. All right. Later, Papa. Hi. Sorry. Thank you so much for waiting.
Yeah. Hey, guys. I'm Wadid. I'm just here enjoying my off days. I can see from your background that you're in somewhere else, not in Berlin studio,
We're in a shipyard in Rotterdam.
Yeah, in a shipyard. It's an interesting setting. It's cool. So before we dive into how you feel about European League of Legends, how's off season been?
I'll just be honest. During season, I just personally felt like league is not fun,
Ooh, that's
but
tough.
right now, I'm feeling really good, and my mentality is completely prepared, and I'm just preparing for my summer split. Yeah.
Are you obviously you don't have to reveal things, but the Rogue squad did look the healthiest. It was very unfortunate. I feel like a lot of fans felt similarly, where like it was nice to see Vander and he gave the team a lot of direction, but it was kind of like that bittersweet moment because you are such a fan favorite, especially after your performance at Worlds. And I personally don't think that you were the problem with that roster not finding success there. So, I mean, are there any plans that you want to reveal or any things that you're trying to do, or is it just like you're focusing on yourself, just trying to get back into form?
Right now, it's just hard to say something, but for sure there is something should be changed, you know. And I really think I can bounce back. I trust myself, as my fans do. So there's no worries, you know. Like I will be back in summer. Broxa and Reckless and Hilisan, they were really, really good, and they're still good, and they're really good right now. So, I mean, there is like really low chance for OG to win this. But I personally think it depends on the first match. But in my head right now, more Fnatic favor.
Yeah. So do you think that if OG win the first match, that there's like a potential for them to like come and take the whole series?
Yeah, but I still prefer Fnatic.
Yeah.
Why do you think that there's such importance? Because you're actually the second person to talk about the importance of like winning the first game. People have said that you know, whoever wins the first match of a best of 5 will win the entire thing. So as like a professional player, can you explain from your lens what that means for a team?
I mean, we are human, right? You cannot say that you don't nervous at all on the big stadium. So I personally think first match is kind of warm up and just looking at each other's and they see how it goes, you know. And Fnatic has more like experience as a team. Like, I mean, it's like I just trust their bot lane. That's all, you know. That's the strong part. And then their top lane, they know how to deal with it. So I just trust them. Yeah.
That's it from us, Wadid. Thank you so much for taking the time to talk to us, dude.
No problem. Thank you.
Thanks,
Thank you,
dude. I feel like you should let it go for LAC. You got like a nice texture, nice wave.
What, my hair?
Yeah, your hair looks perfect.
I think I was gonna go to the hairdresser soon.
I like it. I like the long hair.
I actually really like it long.
No, but Reinhardt is because I straighten my hair, right? But if like when I just get out of the shower, like it's actually an afro. Like you should ask Moose what he seen in the gaming house.
Oh, we should look on stage with an afro next time.
What?
You guys should both rock it. I've seen the Moose with the fro. I want to see the Soaz fro. I want to see you guys together with fros. We'll just go through each. I'm curious what you guys have been up to. Moose, what are you up to in the off season? How's everything going?
Where are you?
Yeah, where are you first? Let the people know.
I'm in Toronto at the moment. I've pretty much been taking some time off. I was really sick a few days ago, so okay now. And I hate off season. It's too boring.
It's too boring. You ready to come back to the thrill of being a coach on stage, telling your team to pick champions?
I'm ready to not make the same mistakes for Summer Split.
I always enjoy watching the coaches' Twitters and just watching Moose like during games and during drafts just like lose his shit on Twitter, just like passive aggressively each tweet. You're like, oh, they've got this one, and like 2 more picks come in. The next tweet is like, maybe not.
How about you, Paul?
I try to be nice, but
it's okay, Moose. We'll forgive you.
Well, for me, I've been changing apartment, so didn't do that much. I haven't had the possibility to play that much either because the internet was really bad in my old one. But I just came back from France, went to see my family, had to sign some papers because I'm buying like a house in France. So just a lot of things. Yeah.
Dang, dude, you're being an adult. Yeah, you're like, you moved an apartment. So you moved apartments in Berlin, and then you're also buying a house in France.
Yeah.
I just want to warn you, both Frosk and I have recently assembled a ton of IKEA furniture, both with our respective partners. It's going to tear your relationship apart. Dude. It is a literal nightmare. If you think your relationship is going well, IKEA furniture is the ultimate test.
If you want to figure out like where all the holes are in your relationship,
You're
just
like,
get like an IKEA couch.
Yeah.
Real quick, you'd be like, so that did bother you 4 years ago?
Oh, God, no. So personal. All right. Well, anyway, I mean, a new apartment, that's hype. IKEA furniture. Really cool when it's done.
Here's the real question then. Because we've been asking everyone, like, oh, who do you think's going to win? Fnatic versus Origin. Who will win the split G2? Who would actually build like an IKEA furniture set better? Fnatic or Origin?
Yeah, who do you trust? Like,
Origin.
Who would you trust to build your apartment for you if you had to hire one professional team to do it?
A team. Oh.
I think it'd be Origin.
You think Origin would? Oh, are we talking like speed or just like you sit at the table and it doesn't collapse?
Structure. They're known for being a structured organization.
You have seen, you saw the video of Origin doing the
yoga.
No, not the yoga. It was like early in the season with like the thing with Alphari. It was so funny, like
the climbing thing.
Yeah, this type of climbing thing.
So I'd have Origin do it, but Alphari would have some like other job that doesn't actually with building furniture, and then we'd be fine.
So he's like, you give him a made up job, like Alphari, you need to be lookout, like for what?
He has to bring us water every now and then.
Okay, Alphari, water boy.
Alphari, okay, so. All right. Well, there you go. Now we've had good question, Frost. Now we've learned something. So in IKEA furniture, Origin's going to come out on top. In League of Legends, who comes out on top? Is it still Origin? Does their IKEA furniture skills help them on the Rift, or what is your thought on the matchup?
Is Alphari also a water boy in this matchup?
Question for me or for?
I mean, either one of you. We'll ask both. So whichever one of you guys wants to go first.
I would say that obviously it can go either way, but I would say that Fnatic probably have the edge in the matchup. I think more so in terms of, I would say, both side of the map. I think that OG though have a better like mid jungle probably. But I would still give the edge to Fnatic overall, just because of the bot side.
What's your take, Moose?
Yeah, I'm the same. I think top side, mid and top side of Origin will do fine, if not more than fine against Fnatic. But the gap isn't so big that it'll matter. But I think bot side, even if bot goes even in the game, the later the game goes, the better it is for Fnatic. I think Reckless understands the map way better than Patrick, and the way Fnatic pressures, especially side lanes mid late, with their AD is just better than Origin with Patrick. So I think just map and team fighting mid late is Fnatic favored.
Thank you both for taking the time.
Thank you.
Good luck with your IKEA furniture, Paul. Moose, good luck surviving being bored in the off season. I don't really know what to tell you there. Coach an ERL team, maybe. I don't know. Find something to do. Otherwise, we'll see you guys next split. Reveal that.
Oh, sorry.
Hello.
Is this Raymond?
Oh, yes, it is.
Hello,
Daniel Draco.
Oh my God, this is so weird. I haven't actually called someone on a phone in earlier today, but up until today, like a year.
It's been like the 90s since you've ever had to like figure out. Most people don't know how to actually dial numbers on their phone.
That's useless, dude.
Nice to meet you as well, Froskurinn.
I don't know your name. It's fine. You can call me Frosk.
That works, dude. First off, how's life? How has the off season been?
Honestly, it's actually much. I would say it's much needed because, as you know, LEC split wasn't as good as I hoped it would be. It kind of went pretty downhill towards the mid split. Based on my own gut from what I see, I feel like Fnatic will probably win it, but I don't know whether it will be like a 3-1 or 3-2. That's what I would say.
So the only question for you is 3-1 or 3-2. That's pretty Fnatic favorite prediction, my friend. But as we are, I do want to get us to the next one then. Do you think Fnatic can beat GG Esports? Because you were saying just a moment ago that you thought Fnatic might win it all.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, it was more to do with like, this was before I saw when G2 were playing, like when I saw the Fnatic Splice series. I just felt like Fnatic just have, I don't know, I just feel like Fnatic play better as a team. And I feel G2, they showed really good signs, like individual prowess regarding like Captain Wonder especially. I'm just not sure if that is enough to bring down like a 5-man. You know, I feel like Fnatic has kind of improved a lot more compared to like the first half of the split, right? And I've just seen them like play together a lot. and I think this is really good.
Nice, dude. I just want you to know, we'll wrap up there, but I just want you to know that you are the only person so far on the show that has predicted Fnatic to win the final.
I know, right? I love to be the other guy.
You're crazy, dude. You're the edgelord here. All right, man.
I mean, I could easily say, you know what, G2 will win because they have caps. Yeah, that guy's so insane.
That's so crazy. I feel like I've heard that one before today. All right. Thank you so much for taking the time, dude. We're gonna mosey on, but enjoy the new training facilities, and we'll see you in Summer Split.
Thank you very much.
Bye, Kasing.
Thank you for having me. Bye-bye.
All right.
So
next up, we'll see. I'll tell you who it is after we call, because there's a chance that they may not answer because the time zones aren't super favorable. But we're gonna take the gamble. You ready?
We're trying really hard to find someone else.
Oh, there you go.
This really takes me back whenever I hear this.
33, merci de laisser un message après le bip sonore. Une fois votre message enregistré, vous pouvez raccrocher ou taper dièse pour le modifier.
Hey, Yellow Star. This is the Euphoria podcast. We're just calling to ask who you think's going to win between Origin and Fnatic, and then after that match, who you think is going to win versus G2 in the winner. We know you're in Japan and it's like, 12:30 a.m. But just we're curious what your thoughts. We don't really have a number you can call us back, but maybe just like DM us on Twitter with your thoughts. Anyway, nice talking to you. Goodbye. Hope you're feeling happy. Eat some ramen for us. Damn it, dude! I really hope you. Bye, Yellow Star.
He's gonna get that.
He's gonna like check his answering machine and be like, why are they calling me? He probably like put us directly to voicemail, and then he's gonna check his voicemail, or he's gonna do like the translate. You know how it'll like put the like text to speech on your voicemail, and he's gonna be like,
yeah.
what? Hello?
Hello?
Is that legendary jungler right there?
Who this?
Legendary
Who this
artist? Bro, this is Euphoria podcast. This is Froskurinn Quickshot. Do you have a webcam, or are we just voice chatting you? I'm not sure. Before we ask you finals questions, you are a notorious, like, brilliant mad scientist in the jungle. And now that you're not competing for a little while, I'm wondering if you can share any like crazy hype jungle picks for all of our solo queue players out there that you think that it's like good or that people should try. Is there anything special?
Main thing is the only special pick that I could think of is only Urgot. The thing is there are so many picks that work right now. Like you can make Talia work, you can make Urgot work, but these are kind of player preferences. Like obviously some of the picks are not optimal, but these champions depend on the player and how much he spends like practicing them.
So I do want you to pick one though to highlight. Like which one do you think is like the most fun to play?
What's your favorite?
What's your favorite? Like don't worry about them. They'll figure out what works for them.
Well, right now my favorite is Urgot.
Urgot? Heck yeah. Is it the same like it is in top lane? You just max W and you just walk into people?
Pretty much, yeah. I mean, okay, so you like the early game is a bit slow, but the more points you put into W, the stronger you get. And once you get level 9, you can just 1v1 anyone, like solo kill people left and right.
I love that champion. I mean, I hate playing against that champion, but I do love playing that champion. Something about just like watching people actually try to outplay you, and you're like, my W literally auto targets. I just walk at you.
The only problem with like the competitive viability of like Urgot jungle is his statement, once you get level 9.
Yeah, I mean, that's the problem with the pick. Like, you don't really have early pressure, but because with the pick, I feel like you need winning lanes because the ult has such a long range, like 2.5k range. That's insane. Like you can shoot the ult from the river. So if paired with Zerakan, for example, you can play around bot lane and just you don't have to walk to the lane. You just gank from the river, you throw an ult, and then you just execute somebody.
A nocturne ult, basically.
Basically, that's
we just shoot it for fun.
Yeah, just lower the CD.
As you may know, this weekend, top 3 are playing, which you guys were just shy. And I'm sorry that you couldn't be here for this, but I want your opinion on Fnatic versus Origin. Who do you think is going to take this series? I'll tell you that most people have predicted for one team, and it might not be the team you expect. So let us know who you think it's going to be.
I mean, I feel like OG is going to win because when we played Fnatic, I did not feel like they were that strong.
Yeah.
Like I felt like we lost mostly due to our lack of experience playing together. Because like to be honest, I don't feel like their macro was good or their early game was good. Because like in most of the early games we were ahead. It's just that our mid game team fights were messy most of the time.
See, I like it because he's the guy.
He can't hear you because you're not talking to the microphone.
See, I love it because you're the actual expert. Everyone else, they're just making these crazy predictions without having faced Fnatic. You guys just recently faced them in a best of 5.
I mean,
yeah.
No, go ahead.
No, go, please.
I mean, it's just sad that people think that Splice is just this underdog team, and everyone thought like Fnatic is just going to destroy us and absolutely murder us like G2 did OG. But I actually think like our series was really exciting, and we put up a good fight.
I actually do. I think I gained over the course of this playoffs. I think I've found a new respect for Splice in the sense that I really love the game where you put Chachi on Jace. I love the lane swap. I love Kabe playing weird stuff. Like this is like to me like crazy next level Splice that I haven't seen in a long time since it was like 1-3-1 every game back in 2016 with like Talia top. So it's cool. Dude.
I mean the thing is like we started slow because obviously we didn't know each other. We didn't know like what kind of play style we want. So like that's why we kind of have this so-called slow play style where we scale for 40 minutes, but that's just because we don't have good communication yet.
Well, I'm excited to see you guys in summer, but if this is my question, if Fnatic not that impressive, OG are going to take it. Can OG actually do anything against G2 Esports in the final? They got 3-0'd. That was like game 1 was close. Every other game didn't feel so close. How do you feel about the OG G2 final? Who do you think comes out on top?
Thing is, like, I feel like OG are really good when they play 1-3-1 because like I feel like Nukeduck and Alphari really know how to play sides, and then when Cold is playing Rexa as well, they do the 1-1-2-2, and I feel like their 1-3-1 is much better than their 4-1. And in the series, they didn't play a single 1-3-1 team comp. They were just grouping and team fighting G2, who like have insane mechanics on every single player. So I feel like if they are to just play a split push comp, they can win. I mean, they can take a win or two.
A win or two, but do you not see them winning the series? You still think it's G2?
I don't see them winning. I feel like G2 like skill ceiling is just too high, man. Like it's just insane.
It's way too high.
Yeah.
All right. I mean, that's like I feel like what would it take for OG to win? Because believe it or not, you're not the first person to predict that G2 is going to win the whole thing. Like, what does it take? What if here's this kicker. Let's say, God forbid, Mickey's wrist not great. If Promise Q subs in, do you still think G2 are so good that they can just smash this?
I mean, the thing is, it's not like bot lane. I mean, thing is like everyone can take over, but the players that I see that will most likely take over the game are Caps and Wunder, and just Jankos is just going to back them up. I feel like bot lane should just be neutral or just even, and the top side of the map will just carry.
Yeah, I mean it's tough, dude. But thank you for sharing your thoughts. I hope that you're right, that it'll be whoever gets to the final, that we get 1 or 2 games, that someone can actually like challenge G2 a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, thing is like a final just 3-0, that's just lame. So
I agree.
I mean, ideally would be a 3-2 for G2.
Yeah. Well, I'm glad you're in the same school of thought that I am. Cersei, thank you for taking the time to talk to us, and have fun with your Urgot jungle and solo queue.
Thank you.
All right, man. And we'll see you in summer, right? Not too far away.
I will see you guys in summer, and have fun.
Oh, thanks, man. All right, we'll talk to you later. Bye.
Yeah. Bye.
We've got G2 and OG. We're missing Fnatic and SK. And Schalke.
Dylan.
Hello.
What's up, dude? How you doing? So, where are you right now? Are you at home? Are you in the Schalke house?
I don't know like how the internet or sound of my neighbors or video or whatever it is, so we'll see.
I think we'll figure it out, man. Right now your audio sounds pretty good to me. Maybe it'll cut out once or twice, but like it's okay. Trust me. This is people. A lot of people have been answering from their phones today, so like you're good. You're on the better side of audio. Nice. I promise. You're good.
How are you? How's the off season treating you?
It's so boring.
Oh my God, Hussein Moosby said the same thing. Moose said the same thing. He's like, I'm so bored. I'm bored out of my mind.
It's excruciating, and not only is it boring, but like you want to plan, but you just end up having the same conversation about like the same problems for like every single week, right? Because you want to fix obviously things for summer, but there's only so many times you can go over like the same 4 or 5 main issues, and you just end up sitting in like the same meetings over and over again with the same things. It's just like, oh my God, just Let's play some games.
A lot of teams will retain the exact same roster and then just try to fix like cohesion problems or like strategy problems and not necessarily like shake things up? Or do you think we're gonna have a lot of shakeups between spring and summer?
I think a lot of the lower teams will probably roster swap. Well, like teams like Rogue and Excel have already been trying to swap around their players, right? And then Misfits that went badly, and then we already announced Trick, right? So I'd assume, and I think of the playoffs teams, I wouldn't see too many changes. No.
How hard was it to get Trick?
Well, he had already played with Ignar before, so they were really close, and he was really excited about joining. So it was kind of just about making it happen, like actually making it happen. But about him wanting to come to us, it was he really, really wanted to.
Shifting focus, though, to Rotterdam and the playoffs ahead of us. First matchup is Fnatic Origin. Give us your thoughts. What are you thinking? How does this matchup look to you? A lot of people have been saying stomp. A lot of people have been saying close. What's your take?
See, I haven't seen any of these teams play in a long time, other than what I saw in playoffs so far. I just trust Fnatic in like a best of series. They just so much experience in these types of scenarios, and they had probably the best second half of any team. So I would say Fnatic, probably another like 3-1, something like this.
Why? So you talk about the trust, but like when you look at like how both of these teams played, is there anything like how bad? Let me ask this: how bad was the G2 round 2 versus or OG round 2 versus G2 where they got 3-0'd? Because a lot of people are like just willing to completely say that Origin is done; they're doomed from that. What was your take on that one?
I don't think they played particularly well, no. But it's certain games were winnable. But it was a sort of series where even if certain games, it's kind of like the Fnatic series also versus what was it, Spice, where maybe they could have won the games, but do you really think the series was going to go the other way, right?
Yeah.
That's kind of the way I look at this. I just think they're strictly underdogs. Like I don't think it's impossible for them to win, but they just look weaker.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's completely fair. I mean, it's hard to have a ton of faith in a team, I think, after they get 3-0'd, and especially when I think you're right. They're like, even if you know literally nothing about League of Legends, if you just watch look at the Fnatic score lines from like the last 4 years, this team is disgusting in best of fives, and they've continuously proved it. But that now brings us to our final. G2 versus Fnatic, in your case. Is the Fnatic best of 5 buff strong enough to help them beat G2? Like, is that enough?
Fnatic versus G2. I change my mind on this like every day if I'm thinking about it. Yesterday I was thinking that Fnatic's probably going to win. I don't know. It's so hard. I would say like if you had to pick a team to win the finals, I would choose G2 just because they're already in the finals, right? They only need to win one best of 5. But I think if Fnatic makes it, I'd say they're favorites. Yeah. They've just been playing better, I think, in the last half of the split. Like they just had such solid performances, and I trust Martin Reckless in the finals. Right, I think he will perform.
Dang, that's so incredibly hype. Yeah, you are now the second person to predict Fnatic. A lot of people have been like it'll be a 3-2 with 2 games for Fnatic, but you were the second person to predict Fnatic.
The only other person who predicted Fnatic was Kasing.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah. Everyone else is still G2. A lot of people are like,
I have to trust. I can't say G2. I have to trust Fnatic.
There you go.
So Moosvi did talk about, when we were talking to the Misfits guys, was talking about some of the strategy problems, and he was saying that a lot of people will look at the 3-0 between G2 and Origin and just assume that G2 are like on a completely different level and that they're untouchable. But he felt that there were still a lot of flaws in the play. If you agree with this, like where would you say is like the best case for Fnatic to attack? Because you mentioned Reckless. Do you think that they just grab hold of the Lucian, grab hold of the Vayne, and then try to take it to Perks and Mickey? Is that a way to attack, or would you go a different way about it?
Well, at least in the regular season, like obviously G2's bot lane was really hit and miss, right? Like they had some games that looked good, and they played a lot of different champions, and sometimes it kind of looked like Perks was just playing Draven for fun. But I'd say I wouldn't say it's like the worst skilled part of the G2 roster. It just looked the most shaky. So I'd say that's something, whereas Reckless is so consistent and knows how to win a game when he's ahead, I would say that's what they can look at. And I guess G2 has caps. You can just say that if you want to ask a question on the other team.
So everyone brings that up when they're like, I guess you can just say G2 has caps.
Yeah.
It's the number one G2 argument overall. All right, man. Well, thank you. Thank you for sharing your insight. Exciting to hear about Trick in the season, as well as like what else is going to change for Schalke and how you guys are going to look. Good luck keeping yourself entertained in this off season. If you're close friends with Hussein Mousvi at all, he is also bored out of his mind. Maybe you guys can like run fake drafts against each other. I don't know.
Yeah, of course.
Give me some of those like bored coach tweets. Those are always my favorite bangers.
I'm looking for the salty
my Twitter is really abandoned since we lost.
Oh. I'm just saying you can flame drafts at MSI. That's what the people want.
I'm looking for the retweets.
I actually cannot stand these tweets where coaches go and like nitpick every single pick of a draft in like international tournaments. It's just like everyone comes up to the stands to start nitpicking everything.
That's when
they're not at the tournament, they haven't seen a single scrim. They know so little about like the tournament meta or what's going on.
Yes. Yes.
Oh my God.
Preach, Dylan Falco. Preach. All right, dude. Thank you again for taking the time. We'll see you in summer, man.
Yes. Yeah.
That is literally one of those moments when you like turn to the coach and you're just like, I'm sorry, who are you?
Excuse me? Frosk is are you doing Instagram stories or is this just a video?
I'm just doing a video during the making of EUphoria.
Oh, okay, behind the scenes. Yeah. We're calling. Number unavailable.
We didn't even get to leave him a message.
Oh, dude. He must not have an answering machine.
Make the beat.
Wait, I'll be his answering machine. And then you leave what message you would leave for him, and we can tweet it to him later. Sorry. I'm going to do it in English, though, because I don't speak any Polish. So are you ready? I'll be the answering machine, and you're going to leave a message. I mean, you don't have to hold up your hand. That's fine. Hello. No one is available to take your call. Please leave your message after the beep.
Self-made. It's EUphoria. We were just gonna ask you who's gonna win. We know you're gonna say G2, but you took down Fnatic 3-0, so you're probably gonna say Origin G2 Finals. Thanks.
And there you have it, folks. That was what it would sound like if we were able to get Self-Made's voicemail. All right, you win some, you lose some, folks. Not everyone is available to talk to us. Self-Made might be in a solo queue game right now, and we would never advocate anyone leaving a solo queue game. Don't do it. You're gonna get ready to write this down because I have no way to write this down.
Hoffman?
Hey, is this Jan, Fnatic manager?
Yes.
Hey, do you have Young Buck's number?
Do you just have like a burp and
why is it a different ringtone every time?
Tastes really bad later on.
Yes. Hello?
Hey, with Joey.
Hey, Joey. It's EUphoria. How you doing, dude?
Doing good. How are you?
We're doing well, man. We're doing well. We've called a bunch of people today. You are the first Fnatic representative that we've gotten the pleasure of calling, so we're excited to talk to you. How's everything with the team? How are you guys feeling?
We're feeling pretty good. It's, I think that beating Splice, we felt really comfortable against. So even though the chase was a lot harder, we were very comfortable. But after beating Vitality, I think we got a lot of momentum and a lot of confidence. Especially because we were still quite scared of them, even though we picked them because they have that unique playstyle. And now going into Origin G2 is also a little bit different because you cannot scrim each other, so you don't know what everyone is really up to. And you have to prepare for best of 5 2 days in a row, which is also like a unique challenge that we haven't faced before. But I think we're all feeling very well and just ready to go on stage.
Nice. Well, I'm excited to see how you guys kind of approach that unique challenge, but I'm also curious. I obviously don't want you to give away like scrim partners or like how you found good practice, but I'm curious, do you feel like you've been able to find good practice despite all of those like difficulties that you mentioned?
So our main scrim partner is our own academy team.
Nice.
And it's a team we've scrimmed against occasionally throughout the split and have always had good scrims against because the great thing about practicing against your academy team is that you can ask them to ban or play very specific stuff, or you can say like, hey, let's only practice the first 10 minutes of a game.
Do you think with like the strength of like EU Masters and things right now that you are getting, as good of scrims, if not better, than you would get at the LEC if all the LEC teams were available? Or do you think that the LEC partners are still just a caliber above your ERL leagues in terms of scrim partners?
I think most, like the top LEC teams are of course a step above, but when you look at like quality of scrim practice, I don't see a big difference between scrimming teams like LVLC, which we've also practiced against, and our own academy compared to maybe bottom tier of LEC. We've even preferred our own LEC, our own academy team before because they can do what we ask, so we can prepare specific stage drafts against them.
Nice. Yeah. And it seems like that would be like just like an excellent way to approach and one of the big strengths. And, we always kind of like go back to the days of sister teams and reminds me of that. I'm curious for you, before we talk kind of like more about the team and the matchups ahead of you guys, how do you feel personally about like playing in Rotterdam? Like, is that special for you?
yeah, of course, it's very hard to go back to my own home country. Also, the place where my first split ended with CEST, where we played against OG as well. So it's basically going full circle, and having that happen in my own home country, of course, it's the best way to do it because my family and friends are going to be there.
Oh, are you gonna have your flag? Like, I know that a lot of players will wear their flag when they're in their home country. Will you have the Netherlands flag?
I don't think I will. I kind of felt like it was a little bit cheesy, but then again, I wouldn't be against like doing the national anthem either. So maybe I'm cheesy in different ways.
I mean, totally fair.
Like singing it.
I'll let production know. Maybe we can get you on stage to hype up the crowd. So looking at the matchups ahead, Fnatic versus Origin. I'm pleased to tell you that most people are predicting in your favor. But I'm curious what your thoughts are on the matchup. How strong do you think OG is right now after watching that the 3-0 from G2?
So obviously I've had to rewatch the series a couple of times in order to prepare for this entire weekend. And at first I thought that the series wasn't as close as it looked until I rewatched it once or twice. Because people said that the Origin fell apart after the first game, but I actually think that the second game was also still very competitive and could have gone either way. So I think people might be speaking a little bit on Origin. Having said that, we practiced against them exclusively leading up to their games against Origin, against G2, sorry. And we gained a lot of confidence from that. I think that they play a very slow-paced style, and they're extremely good at it and being very controlled. But then eventually you have to team fight, and then if you have to team fight against the likes of Reckless and Hylissang after 25, 30 minutes, I don't think like a 3K gold lead would do much. So in that regard, like a lot of scrims went the way that the first game went against G2, where they get a gold lead, they get Drake, they get the Rift Herald, but then eventually they have to actually start breaking through our base and start team fighting it there, and that's usually where we would turn the game around. So I think something similar might happen on stage as well.
So when you're let's say you guys win 3-1, 3-2, 3-0, doesn't really matter. But like when it comes to then preparing for the series the next day, is that something you've already like thought about and talked about and playing with the team? Because you're like in a very unique situation in that you're the first team to experience this format if you win this match versus Origin. Like, have you put any thought into like how you're actually going to prep for that match versus G2?
We have our regular scouting on what G2 likes to do and how we want to play against it. Having said that, most of our practice goes into drafting specifically for Origin, playing against Origin. So we're basically have to switch our play styles a little bit between the days. And that's going to be a very big challenge, quite frankly. But I do think that our drafts for G2 series are already ready. So that's usually the biggest part of good preparation. So you need to have two red side and blue side drafts ready. And while we know what we want to do against Origin and it's different against G2, I don't think it will matter that much.
All right. Well, then I guess the most important question then is who wins the finals? Young Buck, what's the score going to be? How confident are you feeling? Is this a 3-0 kind of day versus G2? Is it a 3-2?
I'll predict a 3-1 for Fnatic.
I mean, I think the assumption was always going to be that you were going to say Fnatic, but I want to actually ask, like, okay, you win finals. How you guys doing at MSI? Like, what happens if IG come back? It's like Fnatic.
Is this revenge on IG?
So you want to know how we would do it at the MSI?
Yeah.
Oh, that's a tough one.
No, the answer is very simple. Europe will win.
Yeah, Europe will win. That's what we want to hear, Joey.
Obviously. I think, quite honestly, if Griffin is in the same form as they were when we practiced against them at Worlds, and if IG is in the same form, it's going to be an uphill battle. That's just how it is. But I think we will try to aim for the finals at the very least.
That's what I want to hear, dude. Finals. Good. That's what I like, Joey. All right. Well, good luck to you and the team, man. Thank you for taking the time to talk to us. I look forward to seeing your game on Saturday.
Oh, you're welcome.
All right. See you later.
Thank you very much.
Okay, guys. We're calling Selfmade again. He doesn't answer private numbers, so we're trying one more time. If he doesn't answer this time, then we're done, so.
He said on Twitter he would.
Hello.
Hello, Selfmade?
It's kind of, wait, I think it's kind of quiet. Can you talk now?
Hello.
So we want to ask you two very important questions.
She wants to ask one. I want to ask about playoffs, but she has one before that.
Oh, no, it's not going to be an IKEA question.
Okay.
Oh, I wanted to know who is going to win, Fnatic versus Origin.
Fnatic, obviously, 3-0.
3-0. Okay, why so confident?
Yes.
Can you give us a quick explanation on why you're so confident there?
Because they are just better team and they have player defense on every single role.
Dang. Every role. You even think Nemesis is better than Nuke Duck right now?
Obviously.
Obviously. Dude, you're so confident. All right. Okay.
I mean, it's not confidence. I just know this guy, you know?
Yeah.
I know that he's going to pop off.
Dude, I mean, all right. I respect it. I respect that you firmly like. Is there any way that Origin win this, or do you just think it's like hard doomed for them?
I mean, I'm just cheering for Fnatic, you know?
Yeah.
So I'm going to just keep my word and say 3-0.
There you go. All right, well, then the question becomes Fnatic versus G2 in the finals. Is there a player difference there? Is that a 3-2? Is that a 3-1? Or are you thinking another 3-0?
Honestly, in that matchup, G2 versus Fnatic, I think it will be like close series, right? I honestly think that G2 are better than Fnatic, but I still believe in the other team and that they're going to win.
Really? All right, faith in Fnatic. So do you think that one's much closer? Do you think that one's like a 3-2?
Yes, most likely.
All right, 3-2.
Dang. Like either it will be 3-2 or it will be like 3-0 by one of the teams, but most likely 3-2.
Well, 3-2 is definitely what we want. So I like the 3-2 prediction, self-made. Yeah. One final question. I'm curious. We asked Xerxes earlier about his solo queue jungle. I'm curious about you and your preferences here. Is there anything you can advise for our young bronzy or silver viewers out there who are looking to climb up the ladder? Is there any self-made secret that you're willing to share about the jungle?
Gang bot lane.
I mean, that's not a bad secret, man. It's pretty good. All right.
No, but seriously, like if I had to make a actually answer that might help people from lower elo, as a jungler, I think it's just the best to play champions that actually kill people, you know, by yourself. Like, I don't know, Kha'Zix, Evelynn, things like this, and just play for yourself and get fed. Like, don't expect your teammates to carry you, just carry by yourself.
I like that. Plus, then people will be mechanically good when they get to higher elo, so that's nice. All right, dude. That's all we have for you. Thank you for answering our call this time. Next time, we'll try not to have a private number. Enjoy your off time.
Thank you for the call.
Yeah, of course, man. Later. All right. Welcome back, folks. We had one final guest. He's here. He had to fly here. He's here for the weekend to be on the show. Welcome, Yamato. How you feeling?
Thank you very much. I'm feeling okay. Yeah. I didn't eat anything.
You did come sweaty. Directly from your flight to the show, so we appreciate that. Frost is in the background. She'll point at stuff and occasionally jump in. And you've been looking at our board of observations that we've collected over the course of the day. So I'm just curious, what stands out to you off the bat? Is there anything that's really interesting to you?
There's so much to take in.
It's true. It's a big...
I like the one where Carlos says he wants to beat both. I respect that. I'm also happy with Papa Smithy's analysis because that's kind of the train I'm on. The OG is a prep team. And then the other stuff, I didn't really get to digest it.
So, so here's the deal.
Okay.
I guess let's start with Fnatic Origin. What's your take, Yamato? You said you agree with Papa Smithy. You care to elaborate? How do you feel about this matchup?
I think Fnatic will 3-2. I think they're the type of team that will perform better in front of a crowd. I just feel like if the games are going to look similar to what they did between OG and G2, I think Reckless is just going to win the games because he's a championship player. I see him as a person that, when you play against Reckless, my players, they always press tab, they look at the Reckless items all the time. Yeah, it's 1 item, 2 items, 3 items, okay, the ding, 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 and the clock has ran out.
The reputation is there. They're the only man where they're actually counting items.
Yeah, for sure. So I think I'm giving OG the 2 because I think in terms of preparation, I think they're much better than Fnatic. The Fnatic, sometimes they do blunders. They sometimes draft Reckless into Sivir, into Alistar, and it's like, oh, we shouldn't have done that. We lost 1 best of 1. I remember the specific game we played against Bwipo Galio bot in the LEC, and I was like, okay, that was an idea, but it didn't really work. And I think Fnatic's prep could be better. But I think OG, as Papa Smithy said, just because they're facing an opponent that it's kind of easy to prepare against, because Fnatic, they all play like very specific champions. You have Nemesis with his Lissandra train, Reckless with his tiny champion pool, Hildisang the same. They managed to make it work somehow, which is so impressive about Fnatic, but it does make it easier to prep against them.
Frosco, you look like you're inquisitive back there, and I'm not trying to deprive you from the opportunity to speak. Would you like to come to the mic to say anything? You're going to draw. Froskurinn, can I continue to have a conversation with Yamato, or are you going to like Pictionary out your conversation here?
What do you want me to draw?
I don't know. I forgot you have artistic talent. This is such a weird direction for us to take this final.
Goat on a mountain wearing a helmet made out of fox fur.
Goat on a mountain wearing a helmet made out of fox fur from Yamato. You work on that. Okay, so we're going to live in Yamato prediction world. So 3-2 Fnatic. We go into the finals. Who's going to come out on top? Now, before you answer that, I do want to point out that it has been very heavily G2 favored so far. Some people have been willing to give them 1 or 2 games. Or say, for example, was like, I think it'll be 3-2, but definitely still G2. And only, I think, 4 people now have actually predicted in favor of Fnatic. It's like Kasing, Dylan Falco, Young Buck, obviously, and then one more who I've already forgotten. No, it's Selfmade. Selfmade is the 4th.
They're doing it for the likes. Like, they know the Fnatic fans are like, oh, look at this guy. I think no way. I think the position G2 is in is just too overpowered. They're going to see their opponent play one day before. Their opponent needs to prepare for 2 teams, and then prepping for G2 is a headache. Prepping for them is just a disaster. You don't know what's going to come at you. So it's all about just preparing yourself for the beating that is coming in the finals. I think G2 is going to take it. I think I was speaking about how I think Reckless is a championship level player. I think G2 is a team filled with them. So.
Yeah, I mean, it's a stacked roster for sure, and it's pretty terrifying. The only person we really talked to about like the prepping for that final series so far is Young Buck, but as a coach yourself, I was curious what your take is on it. Like, let's say you're in the shoes of Fnatic or whatever team is going to win and then have to play G2. Like, how do you actually prep leading up to what is potentially 2 back-to-back best-of-5s? Like, do you have any ideas on how you'd approach that?
I think you need to have multiple draft ideas. I think you should leave yourself a lot of room to have open bans, meaning that if you need to adjust, you can adjust so you don't practice the whole week, perma-banning 3 champions, and then something you realize that it's a bad thing, you need to open up some bans. I think that's very important. I think level 1 is super important, especially we saw it in OG versus G2. OG, they died level 1 twice, and that kind of cost them the game because Zaya got ahead, they kept the mid tower alive, and all of a sudden this composition that was the force on Nashor can't really go through. I think this is something Fnatic can do, or any coach can do. And I think in the position they're in where they have to play 2 best-of-5s in a row, I think it's all about just improving yourself and making sure that you're confident in your own style of play. You don't want to adjust yourself towards 2 enemies. It's just too time-straining and too time-consuming. So you just want to be the best version of yourself. I think that should be the focus. And just prepare yourself for anything, I think is the way.
Now looking forward, if like, let's assume G2 does win the split, let's talk briefly about international. How optimistic are you for Europe at MSI with G2 at the helm? Is this a year where we make finals? Is this a year where we can take it all? Keeping in mind, like, obviously LPL still has a lot of games to be decided, and we have SKT playing Griffin, so Korea is sending someone that is strong either way, right? Like, there's no bad team that could potentially go from the LCK. Like, is this going to be a good year, or at least a good tournament for Europe?
I'm not sure. It's so hard to judge because some of the series look quite bad. I think the same can be said for the series that happened in Korea. It's so easy to judge series from an outside perspective, saying, oh, they did this bad, they did this bad. But then when you're in it, you actually feel the situation much like in an entirely different perspective. But I think G2 have the potential to beat most teams. The system that is at MSI, the best-of-1 system into best-of-5s, I think G2 can do very, very well as long as they don't take any vacations. I think SKT is going to be the team that is going to MSI. I think they're going to beat Griffin, but I think LPL looks the scariest. I've been watching their games, and I feel like they've really refined the idea of playing to perfection, really pushing the limits, and it's always fun to watch.
I completely agree. I can't wait for MSI. We'll find out, of course, The finals, though, still remain in front of us. We'll see who comes out on top, what twists and turns are proposed for us. Let's turn and appreciate the artistic genius that is Froskurinn. Now, if you're in podcast land, she has succeeded. She is a surprisingly talented artist.
That is actually...
That is quite good.
You're smurfed.
Yeah, she's...
Can I keep this?
Yeah, this is great. I'm putting Can we put this on like in the cash room for the weekend? Yeah, you can sign that or something.
This is like bed level stuff. Don't ruin it.
This water in the
what's
front.
That?
Some water. What is this?
It's
an alligator. It's an alligator. I'm committed. All right, ladies and gentlemen.
It's Baron in the water.
It's a shark.
Oh, it's a crocodile.
Is it a crocodile or a shark?
Oh, actually,
I think it's a shark.
I was blind before. It's a shark.
It's a shark for sure.
Smurf.
I thought it was an alligator. All right,
big Smurf.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for joining us on what has been a monumental episode. Thank you, Yamato. It's a very short time commitment, but you did also fly here to be here for Rotterdam. Final question: you haven't eaten. And this is important for the people at home to know, so we're going to include it in the episode. What do you want to get? What do you want to eat?
What I want to eat?
Yeah,
I want to eat some burger. Just slap it on a plate. I want it to be greasy. I want the paper to just be soggy, and then I want to chew into it because I didn't eat all day. And you're paying.
I'm paying. That's totally fair. All right. This has been Euphoria Season 3, Episode 13, the final episode of the regular season. We might do a recap episode next one just to round everything out. Thank you, Yamato, for joining us. Thank you to literally everyone else who joined and all of you who have watched throughout all of this. I forgot to do this at the beginning, so I'm going to do it at the end because it's just kind of funny now to me. There's timestamps in the description if you want to pick who your favorite person is, and if you somehow miss them and flame us, well, that's my bad. Otherwise, thank you for watching. This is a wonderful Froskurinn drawing, and if you're watching or in podcast land, we'll take pictures of both of the sheets of paper that we've written/drawn on so you can get all of the hot takes from all of our guests. So until next time, thanks for watching.